Hi folks, this is Steve, the Cardboard Cultist, and today I'm going to be taking a quick look at Roleplayer. Roleplayer is a 1 to 4 player game published by Thunderworks and designed by Keith Matejka. Roleplayer sees players competing to create the most impressive fantasy RPG character, and players will spend the game rolling and drafting dice, trying to build up their character and attain the attributes required for their specific class. So in this game you're watching here, I'm on the left of your screen playing an Orc Monk, and I need to focus on high strength and a good even spread across my other stats. So the game begins by rolling a number of dice depending on the player count, and then assigning those dice to one of 6 attributes, and this just helps to get your character started. From here, and at the start of a player's turn, they'll draw and roll a number of dice based on the number of players. In this case, we're drawing 4 dice for a 3-player game, and then those dice will be assigned to each of the numbered cards you see in the center of the play area. The highest dice will go on the highest card number, and the dice will work down with the lowest dice on the lowest card. Each player in turn will then draft a dice along with a corresponding card, and this card number will dictate their initiative order for purchasing cards from the marketplace later in the round. And that's the 4 cards you see above the numbered initiative cards. But I'll talk more about that later. Next, they'll add the drafted die to one of their attribute rows, and here's where the game really starts to come to life. Each time you add a die to an attribute row, you'll trigger that attribute's special ability. So, adding a die to the strength attribute row will allow you to flip one die on your player board to its opposing side, turning a 1 to a 6, a 2 to a 5, or vice versa. Similarly, adding a die to the dexterity row will allow you to switch any 2 dice on your player board, and this is going to help you start to hit those attribute scores your character needs, and you're going to spend a lot of time manipulating dice rolls and the location of dice on your player board. Now, no legendary RPG character would be complete without an impressive backstory, and this is represented by the card in the bottom right hand corner of the player board. To fulfill the backstory, players will need to add specific dice colours to matching rows and columns. The more they match, the higher their final score. And again, you'll be juggling dice throughout the attribute abilities to try to make this happen. And the final thing you'll be juggling on that player board is your character alignment. That's the little card below the race avatar over on the left of the board. And your alignment is represented by a 3x3 grid. And throughout the game, through various skills and traits, you'll have a wooden cube that is being manipulated around this grid. In the game you're watching here, I was taking on the role of a scoundrel, and as such I had to get my little cube down into the evil quadrant of the grid. And I was able to do this through various skill and trait purchases from the marketplace, which makes initiative order really important, because you want to get those valuable items from the marketplace as quickly as possible and make sure no one else snags them. And the marketplace is just another variable players will need to consider, and that's one of the things that makes this game really interesting, because you just have so many choices and so many variables. And what I really love about Roleplayer is how it manages to balance theme with strategy. And what I mean by that is it does a great job of rewarding those thematic choices you make for your character. Often in games, the thematic choice is not always the optimal play, but with Roleplayer, you typically find the thematic choice is also the optimal play. So in order to fulfill that scoundrel alignment, I find myself often purchasing nefarious skill cards from the marketplace, and I really love that marriage between theme and strategy. This has been one of the best games I've played this year, and I really hope you get a chance to check it out. But until next time, take care and thanks for watching.